WIFO FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO, brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and Oakwood and Associates.
Hi, I'm Mandy Yeomans.
And I'm Raymond Brown with First Southern Bank. As your locally owned community bank, we're here to help our community grow. Our customers are why we are here. You can tell we want your business.
We offer all types of deposit products, personal and business. We have fast, efficient service, and yes, we have online banking too. I'm sure we have an account to fit your needs. Stop by or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
We're FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Do you know why most people don't invest outside work or at all? Because they don't know where to start and they don't know who to talk with. If this is you, give me a call. Hi, this is Sean O'Quinn. I can help set up a plan no matter where you are in life to get you on a suitable path to a sound financial future. Give me a call, Sean O'Quinn, at 912-385-1000 or stop by the office at 212 South 1st Street right here in Jesup. That number again is 912-385-1000.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, you ready for some football?
Ready.
Ready. Scrimmage game tonight, JC Stadium.
Had to walk through last night. A lot of excitement. Kids are excited, so actually it's going to be fun watching Coach Shaw go up against his father.
I know.
Fun.
Son against dad.
Shaw Bowl.
Shaw Bowl.
I'd like to know what the wager is, but haven't been given that information yet. But he said there's a wager. So.
Yeah, he said this, son and dad, a little wager there. Man. Sure maybe it's like you. Maybe it's a steak dinner that you wager.
Got the format this morning. The first half's going to be just like regular game. The third quarter's going to be situational things, goal line. So then the fourth quarter's going to be a running clock and get the young kids in. So that's the way the format goes tonight. But tickets available at Sheffield's. Also at the high school day from 11:30 to 1. Again, tickets are $10 for the scrimmage. So hopefully a good crowd. Hopefully the weatherman cooperates and we'll get it all in.
All right. Well, we've got a special guest in this morning. Bob, who do we have?
Got Superintendent Dr. Sean Kelly in. Appreciate him coming in. Saw him at the girls softball scrimmage. And he said today would be better than yesterday because yesterday was open house, busy day. Went to several schools, big crowd. It's amazing how many kids and parents attend those open houses, which is a good thing to have.
Yeah, it's well. First of all, thank y'all for having us on. It's always a great day when we start school back. But yeah, our parents and our families really enjoy open house, getting in, to see their teachers in the rooms and what they need and how things are going to flow. And so it's traditionally a pretty busy day. It's busy 3 or 4 days up until open house. So, but it was a great experience.
Last couple of meetings, personnel has been a big thing, trying to get a full staff, but all schools ready to roll today.
For the most part, we are fully staffed. We've got just a few positions here and there that we're still looking for, but we have plans in place to make sure that all of our kids have what they need on day one. And we still are trying to find 1 or 2 folks, but I'm really pleased with what our principal's been able to do. There's a lot of systems around us that have a lot more vacancies than we do, and Jesup, Wayne County is a special place, and so people are wanting to come here. We've gotten a lot of educators from other counties that's come in this year, we're real excited that we're almost fully staffed.
How do you find people? What do you use a employment service? How do people go about? Because y'all have employment for all kinds of positions.
Our COO, Director of Human Resources, Dr. Brian Simon, does a great job. I mean, he and staff go to a lot of career fairs and places to try to recruit people. We have things, various recruiting services that we use, and put the vacancies out there. But I tell you, the best recruiter we have are our parents, our families, and our teachers. And we are all about trying to attract people from other places if they're really, really good. And so we try to do that. And we try to keep the people that we currently have. And our principals are really, really skilled at reaching out there and finding those quality educators.
Okay.
School buses rolling today. How about that situation? And everybody's school's having trouble with bus drivers. Have enough bus drivers this year?
I don't know that I would say we have enough. I don't know when we'll have enough bus drivers, but Mr. Simmons and his staff do a great job of getting kids to and from school. I mean, you guys know, Wayne County is the 8th largest county in the state. And, I mean, some of our kids, unfortunately, have to get on the bus kind of early, but they seem to get them here every day and get them home and, and still, do all the other things that people ask of the transportation department with regard to games and field trips and all of those things. But, they do a tremendous job. Our bus drivers are amazing. They work really hard. I really ask that our families, support our bus drivers by, doing what they ask on the bus, making those trips a little bit safer. Driving a bus is difficult, much less with 70 kids on it. And, we need our families to help us with their children on the buses, making sure they behave and they do what the bus drivers ask them to do so that we can make those rides as safe as possible.
Every school board meeting, they have the capital outlay projects. You always give an update on James E. Bacon. Unfortunately, still construction going on. When do you think that'll be completed?
Well, first of all, I want to say I love James E. Bacon. That's that's been here since day one. We are almost done.
It's the forever project. It seems
well,
like.
I tell you what. When COVID happened and you have the supply chain issues, I guarantee you those guys want to be out of there just as much as we want them out of there. But, we've always told everybody, just wait till it's finished and see what it looks like. And it is beautiful. It's amazing. We've got a little bit more going on in the very back of the school back there. And hopefully maybe, mid to the end of August, it'll be done. We had some issues with getting some glass. We had some issue with some door frames. And, those are things that the contractor really can't, they can't control that. So, we're hoping for it to be done. We're going to school there just like we did at the end of the year. Last year, everything's fine. All the kids have a place to be. All the teachers have rooms. And then once this last little part's finished, we'll have our media center and a few extra rooms.
We got a big hotel downtown, just off downtown, that's being built, and it's over a year past due. I mean, it's supposed to be opened up over a year ago, and they're still got a ways to go. So there's construction seems to be running behind for everyone.
There's a couple of systems that I've seen in the news and heard from some of my colleagues that, their entire school is not ready that they thought was going to be ready, and they're scrambling to find places for kids to go to school. So, we're fortunate that our folks are really, really good at, having plan Bs and plan Cs and Ds, Fs, and all of that. And so we've been very fortunate. We're excited that James E. Bacon is soon to be officially completed. And then, we're finishing up the floors at the two middle schools, which was very exciting to be able to do that. And then we're going to jump right off into the ag and ROTC thing. So, I think as one of the things that I do when I leave my office is usually put my hard hat on. So, that'll probably be something we do the whole time we're here. But we're very excited about that process as well.
Yeah, the good news, East Lost passed, and the two major projects you mentioned, the Ag Center and the ROTC. Let's start with the Ag because we had Dr. McDaniel in here earlier, I think last week, talking about the beginning of high school, but the Ag building. At the school board meeting, the last I heard was that the wetlands issue was a big issue on the side where the track is, and it was mentioned they might have to move across the street for the Ag building, but Dr. McDaniel said that wasn't written in stone. So where are we at on they have the wetlands issue?
So we have met with the architect and the engineer and our ROTC guys and our Ag community, to start kind of a wish list, what we want to see in the facilities. And, we're still looking at where we're going to put the Ag building. Part of the initial process is determining where we can put things, what the footprint will look like, what the site plans will look like. And we're going to do our due diligence to look at both spaces, either on the same side of Joey Williamson as the high school or maybe going across the street. we'll look and see what we can do, what we can't do. You know, when you get to talking about state waterways and wetlands, you know, that gets very complicated. So we'll look at that and see what the proposals are, see what we can and can't do. We'll have continuous conversations with the board to get their guidance about what they want to see happen. And, you know, and once we bring to the table a pretty definite idea of what we can and can't do, then the school board will make a decision about which location we'll use.
When we talk about moving across the street, all 9 Joey Williamson Road, does the school board own all that land? I mean, how much land across the street does the school system own?
We own 72 acres across the street. And so it's
all the way up and down that road.
It's not all the way up and down the road. It's pretty much a squared parcel of land, so it's pretty deep. You know, but there's a lot of room over there to do things, and we're very fortunate to have that. You know, whichever board ventured off into acquiring that property was very smart to do that. So it gives us a lot of opportunities to put something across the street. And a lot of different places across the street. So the tennis court section takes up a very small portion of one of the front corners of that property, of that parcel of land.
Well, also to get the cross-country course across there. So would that, if you move the Ag Center across, would that affect that at all? That's because people ask that question.
Well, if something happens and whatever site we pick interferes with the cross-country course, you know, obviously we'll take that into consideration, and we won't just do away with their course. We'll alter it, you know, and work with the cross-country folks and figure out a way to alter that course so that all things can coexist over there at the same time.
And what is your plans for the ROTC? Well, how would you like to see that done? Because I know it's going to be either connected to the school or part of the school, breezeway, or right just to knock down a wall and build it. How are y'all going to do that?
So right now, our initial thoughts are that we would build a separate freestanding building kind of back behind the 400, I think it's the 400 hall. But anyway, kind of where the trailers are now, the ROTC uses, just closer out to that access road. And we would like to have an enclosed connector to one of the hallways, just for safety purposes, weather, and those kind of things. And so, so we're still looking at that, and our plans are for both facilities to be one project. I would like to see them built at the same time, same contractor, just 2 separate crews.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
And there's still a discussion on what's going to take place with the football facility. They renovate JC Stadium or build a brand new stadium. When do those discussions take place, and what's your vision for that?
So the plan has always been that we would, get ROTC and Ag started and see what that number is and that's going to entail. Once we figure out what that number is and what resources we have, number 3 from that capital outlay committee was either a new stadium or renovating JC. And so my plan is to start having conversations with the board. Once we get the Ag and ROTC project started and we know what that amount of money is going to be, we know what the, splost receipts and dollars are going to be and what we will have left in bond money. And then, work with the board to figure out what is the most practical, cost-effective, and useful thing to do, for either renovating or going across the street. So we're still a little ways from, beginning that discussion.
Well, the good news financially, every time I go to the meeting, the sales tax revenue just seems to be up everywhere. City, county, school board, so everybody's benefiting. I don't know why that's the trend, but lately that's the trend here in Wayne County. The sales tax revenue seems to be pretty high.
Well, I mean, when you have, when you have a place like Wayne County, and me not being from here, I've seen it. When you have a place like Wayne County, people like to come here. They like to spend money. You got a lot of great places to go eat. You got the movies. You got all these great things to do, and we're very excited that, every month RJ, reports out, that we're exceeding anticipated receipts with SPLOST. All that does is replenish the coffers for us to be able to do more things for kids. And SPLOST is a little complicated, how we have to spend money and where we spend it, but it is so much nicer to be on the top side than it is to be underneath. And so we're able to, to do these things and build things like James E. Bacon. And, the simple fact that after James E. Bacon is finished, all of our elementary schools will be within 12 years old is amazing. Not many people can say that. And so, we're really going to look at what we can do with the middle schools. We're currently doing a huge HVAC replacement at the high school. So we've got a lot of things going on, really updating our facilities and making it a great place for kids to go to school.
I don't think people realize, that they think new high school, but how old is that school right now?
I think it's 22
22
years
Well,
old.
the very first class started in 2002.
Yeah.
And first graduating class was in 2023, so it's 21 years old now. Yeah, it started in August of 2002.
And we have, the high school is a big place. We have some very large systems that provide conditioned air in those spaces. And, that technology and equipment is 20 years old, and some of it's obsolete. Some of it's on its last leg. Some of it has been repaired so many times that it doesn't look like it did when it got put in. And so we feel very fortunate to be able to do that project. And it'll go all the way through this school year and probably into next summer. But when we're finished, we'll have all brand new state-of-the-art HVAC systems in the high school, so we're very excited about that.
Tax is always an issue. I saw where the city's talking about their 10 millage rate. Is the school system at that point talking millage rate, rollback millage, or where are we at on that?
So, we have a board meeting on August 8th, Tuesday, August 8th, and, I anticipate having something on the agenda approved by the board to discuss the millage rate and what they're, what they anticipate doing. There was something that came out in the paper yesterday about the desire of the board to roll back and maybe do a partial rollback, but we'll have those public meetings. The board needs to sit down and talk about it, and more information about that will come out of those meetings.
That's way above my pay grade. Like I said, I go to these meetings and hear about I'm not good at math, but all I know is taxpayers like to hear when they roll millage back, because apparently that saves taxpayers money.
Yes, and it does. The school board has been a great steward of public money. Since I've been here and the several years before I got here, the school board has rolled back the millage rate in some manner. I think the last 4 or 5 years, and I understand that people want to pay the least amount of taxes possible, and I'm no different. But I also understand that we get a lot of federal money. We get even more state money. We do get property tax money from the county. And to provide our students with the quality of education and facilities that our community demands takes a little bit of money, and hopefully we can do right by the citizens, but first and foremost, we got to do right by the kids. But all of this is per, school board decision and discussion. So,
and just joining us in the studio with us is School Superintendent Dr. Sean Kelly. School safety is always an issue. All across the country, you see these shootings at schools. God forbid that doesn't ever happen in Wayne County, but I know schools take precaution. There's talk about resource officers. Where do we stand on resource officers? Is there one at every school or just one at the high school? Talk about the resource officers and where we stand on that.
So first and foremost, my main responsibility and responsibility of the board is to make sure our kids are safe. Right now we have a resource officer at the high school and one at each middle school. We instituted that last year. Our goal, and the goal of the board, we've had a lot of discussions, is to try to provide an SRO at every school. And so we're working really hard to find a way to fund, an SRO at every school, every elementary school, every middle school, and at the high school. And so we're still working really hard to do that. We have a lot of other systems in place. About a year ago, we instituted the Strategics program that, every employee carries a badge. I have one right here. With the press of a button, we can lock down any school, and with a certain number of presses of this button right here, we can have every law enforcement officer in this vicinity headed to a certain site in a moment's notice. And so we're very excited about that. And we have a lot of other things that we're doing to, I don't want to say fortify our schools, but make our schools more safe for our kids. With regard to vestibules, we have processes in place to make sure all of our doors are locked. We're very, very wary of who comes on campus and how people have to check in and check out. So we're working really hard every day to try to make sure that our kids are as safe as possible, but we want them to be safer tomorrow and safer the next day. So we're still working on a lot of those things.
I believe all the schools have that, just one way in, one way out, right? You have to check in. Like when I go to the high school, there's only one entry in. You have to go to the front office. Are all schools like that?
All schools are designed to have a main entrance and for you to go in and have to go through the office to get into the main part of the school building. So we're, very diligent on making sure we maintain those pathways and maintain those egress areas for people to make sure that everybody understands how they're supposed to gain access to school. Sometimes folks get a little upset with us because of how diligent and over the top we are with safety. But, if I have to be, if I have to fall on one side or the other of the fence, I would rather for people be mad and upset with me because it takes them a little while longer to get in the building. than not. So, we're going to continue to fortify, and we're going to continue to make sure our kids are as safe as possible.
Every school has a student handbook, and that's what I hear about, dress codes, things like that. Just talk about that. Any issues with the dress code or cell phones? What's the policy on kids with cell phones at schools?
So, we have a basic guide by which kids are supposed to, by which school is supposed to be conducted. Every principal has a little bit of leeway with some things. As far as the dress code, we have a basic dress code for each grade band for elementary, middle, and high. We expect people to come to school and dress in a manner that's appropriate so that we don't distract from the business of school. If you don't follow the dress code, then there are consequences. We try to give warnings and give people an opportunity to get right, but, there is that expectation. Same thing with cell phones. Cell phones are a great resource, but in schools they're a huge distraction. You're not really supposed to have cell phones out or being used or using them or being visible. Some schools allow a little bit of leeway here and there, and they're granted that. The principal has that authority. So my suggestion is, if when you come to school, put your cell phone away, turn it off, don't bring it out until the end of the day. If there's an emergency, we have thousands of phones in our buildings and hundreds of adults where people can get help and get messages, and parents can always call the main office. And if somebody needs their child, we will make that happen every single time they need them.
So students have to turn the cell phone off, leave it in either their book bag or their locker or
Well,
car.
I don't know that we specifically tell them where to leave it. I think it just has to be turned off and put away, and again, we're in the kid business. We understand how important for some reason these cell phones are and stuff, but it doesn't need to come to a point where it's distracting from their education and what they're supposed to be doing in classes.
Again, we got you in here. Anything else you want to talk about? Any other items that we may have missed?
No, just real excited about the first day of school. We ask our community, our parents, to be patient with us these first few days. We're still trying to work out some traffic patterns and getting people in and out. Excuse me. Making sure everybody has a place to be. Sometimes we have kids show up that we don't even know about. And so we're trying to get everybody in a spot. But I will tell you, our principals, our staff, and our people in our buildings are absolutely amazing. They've prepared, diligently to get ready for the first day of school. We're really going to focus on classroom instruction. We always do that, but we're really going to try to do some things this year where we focus on classroom instruction. And I want our community to know, and I want our parents to know, that I am pushing our principals to enforce the discipline code. You guys asked me earlier about unfilled positions. Teachers educate kids not because they're going to get rich, but because they love kids. And when teachers enjoy coming to work, when they have a really great place to be, and when they don't have to put up with a lot of foolishness, they stay. And that's what we're really wanting to do. Now, we understand kids are going to be kids. We'll have programs and protocols in place. But our teachers deserve the opportunity to teach, and I am really stressing to our principals to enforce the discipline code, give kids opportunities to do the right things.
Okay. Appreciate you coming in. It was an exciting day, first day of school. Graduation will be here before you know it.
Well, we appreciate
Time
y'all
flies.
giving us time and taking such interest in our schools. And like Coach Shaw says, go Jackets.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Dr.
Thank
Kelly.
y'all very much.
Anything else, Bob?
That's it.
All right. World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO, brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Butter Supply, and O'Quinn and Associates.